Okay, now I know that everyone is their own person and everyone has their own opinions, and I get that. But since nobody asked, here's my opinion on this whole thing. Let's take two hypothetical games here. Game A, game B. Game A is physical and I own it. I can hold it in my hand. I can put it on my shelf. I can sell it. I can give it to a friend. I can keep it forever. Game B is digital or something where the physical only accesses a digital file, and therefore the license is rented. I do not own it. I cannot sell it. I cannot give it away. Game A can be played for years and decades because it doesn't require online support. Game B will be unplayable once the support ends. Game A is full and complete at launch. Game B is incomplete at launch, has bugs, glitches, needs patches, needs updates, isn't really done when I buy it. Game A can be played single player, local multiplayer with a split screen, local multiplayer with game share, multiple consoles, online multiplayer with or without game share, and the multiplayer can either be cooperative or competitive or a mix of both. Game B is either primarily single player or primarily multiplayer, but not both. The multiplayer is either primarily local or primarily online, but not both. Online multiplayer means that everyone has to own the game. We can't share it with game share. And the multiplayer is either co-op or competitive, but not both. Game A has a lot of replay value, probably because the goal for each game is very short, but it's fun to do that again and again and again and again and again. Game B has low replay value, either because the story is too long, even if it's a good story, it's too long. I love Red Dead Redemption 2. It's going to be a while before I play that again because it's long. Or if it's a short game, it's just not fun enough to want to replay. Maybe you don't like how it ended. Maybe the gameplay is just not enjoyable. Maybe it's frustrating. Maybe there was a big twist, and now that you know the twist, it's not fun to play. Game A has no microtransactions. Game B has lots of microtransactions, pushes them on you, maybe even makes them required, right? I would much rather pay $100 for this game than I would pay $50 for this game. I'm going to get way more value out of this game than this game. I'm going to be playing this game forever. This game is going to be one and done. Maybe I can sell it. Nope, can't because it's digital, right? Now, if you are going to have the stance of, I refuse to pay more than $60 for a game, that's fine. If you have a reason for that, I will not judge you for that. But if you say all games should be the same price because all games have the same value, I think that you are wrong. I disagree with that. Right? And I'm not here to be a Nintendo shill. Nintendo, they do a bit of this. I don't like it. They do quite a bit of this. I don't like it. I'm not saying every Nintendo game is worth $100. I'm saying different games, based on what they offer, should be different prices, based on what I'm going to get out of it as the consumer. So, if Mario Kart is $80 or $90, I don't care, because I'm going to play that forever. I am not going to play Donkey Kong Bonanza forever, so I'm not going to pay $70 for that. But Mario Kart, I will, right? It's okay for different games to have different prices. That doesn't mean that every game is going to be that price. And, keep in mind that a lot of the information that's coming out now is either wrong or incomplete or from unverified sources or from different countries, and things aren't specifically going to transfer over between every country. So everybody just slow down, relax. Some games are worth more money. Some games, in my opinion, are not. I don't like that Nintendo still has every Mario Party on the Switch at full price. I think when newer games come out, older ones should go, but whatever, And everyone's talking about, well, games have always been this expensive, and if you adjust for inflation, it's the same price. And then other people are like, okay, but if you compare it against the minimum wage, and we're just making up arguments to suit our own point, right? Games are better. They're more technical. They have bigger teams. They take more time and more resources and more money to make. So it makes sense that they're going to be more expensive. That doesn't mean every game should be expensive, right? I mean, you might have noticed games that are free, like Rocket League and Fortnite, they tick most of these boxes for me. Not this one so much. But I played Rocket League a lot before Epic bought it. Ton of replay value. Local multiplayer, online multiplayer, co-op or competitive. I actually owned I still own a physical disc for it. And I've been playing it for not decades plural, but probably close to a decade. And that game was free, right? But there's a lot less assets in that game than something like Mario Kart World. So, games are different and they should be allowed to be different prices. That's my opinion. Go complain about it in the comments.